Couldn't sleep last night. That's why I'm up early. So you saying good morning, but you don't know I've been up all night. I ain't sleep. Rest in peace to the young brother. Takeoff. One of the most humblest kids I met of this generation. And when we talk, Farris, what's up, my brother? I know you headed to the gym. When we talk about this generation, Chauncey, what's up, my brother? Pepsi in the building. When we talk about this generation, this is equivalent to my generation's Run DMC, the Migos. That's how I always felt. These guys are going to be living legends of this time. And so sad. There's so many ways to go this way, but it's about self-love. And so we got to get away from the self-hate. We got to get away from hating our own, being jealous of our own. Now, I do not know the details of why this gentleman was killed. I do not know what happened. But I could talk from being the eldest statesman of hip-hop that I just feel like I have to speak on it, right? And so I told you on Charlemagne, I said, man, why we hate our own? You know, it was a time where we lost Big, we lost Pop, we lost Big L, but this was spaced out. This was years apart. It seems like we lose our young brothers every month. Every single month. We lose a young brother who's feeding his family, feeding his village, feeding his community, and inspiring. And so I know the young boys ain't really up at this time like this. But we got to talk to them. And so, inspiration. When somebody makes it out the hood that looks like you, that talks like you, that been through what you've been through, it offers a baton of hope. See, I had to see Lord Finesse make it before I knew I could make it. I had to see Diamond D, Showbiz, and AG make it before I could make it. Me, Fat Joe. And I never give up. I'm here to tell you God is great during good and bad times. And so, I feel like you got Joey Crack, you got the Fat Gangster, you got the Don Cartagena, you got Fat Joe. I feel like we all praying to a God. Whether it's Allah, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's the Messiah, whether it's... I feel like he just got nicknames. He came through hoods and had different nicknames. You know how you know a guy from Harlem? They might know him by something else in Brooklyn. They might know him by something else in the ATL. But as long as you got God in your heart and you believe that there's a God out there, that this world would never have been created without God. The God of wind, the God of the sun, the God of life, the God of everything. And so, self-love. And so this young brother, man, you know, I'll never forget I was at the Versus, Dipset Locks. This guy, Takeoff, was there. And he's a big Dipset fan. And I seen him at the end of the battle. He walked out. He looked so upset, so sad, you know, because he, you know. And I just knew he loved hip hop. And so this hip hop, whether I talk to Will Smith every day, whether I talk to Buckshot Shorty, whether I talk to anybody in hip hop, we do love each other. We do have an alma mater. Unfortunately, we come together at times like this. Okay. Now, there's so much for me to talk about. And let me get back to what I was getting to, because this is a very important topic, guys. And I know a lot of you guys are going to work, going to school. When somebody makes it that looks like you, that comes from where you come from, and you know their struggles and you know their battle, it offers you hope. It lets you know that you can overcome and you can be successful, that you can be a king, a queen, a CEO, an entrepreneur, an owner of a business, a leader. And so when you gun them down before they even peak to their greatness, you set us back. Now, this young brother is a legend. Without getting killed early, without none of that. This group, I've always said, in this generation, is the Run DMC of this generation. Fucking incredible, phenomenal. My heart goes out to his family, the whole ATL, Offset, Quavo. And now, you know, from what we know, these guys wasn't talking to each other at the time. That got to be even worse. And so what the great Kobe Bryant said was, the biggest mistake in life is to think you have time. Because no one gets up thinking they're going to die that day. No one gets up thinking it's over. And so it was a sad day yesterday for hip-hop. I spoke to Fabulous briefly. And you know Fab, if you know Fab, he don't talk much. I done sat next to him for an hour and we might say, yo, yeah, talk about an outfit or something. Yesterday he wouldn't get off the phone. Talking about, yo, life is short, we gotta enjoy, we gotta this, we gotta that. And so I'm blessed, right? I never thought I'd be blessed. They tried to kill me 30, 40 times. It's in the book of Jose, right? So I'm blessed, right? I'm a lucky guy. But everybody's not lucky. And everybody didn't come as lucky as me. And so I got to see Method Man as a grown man. I got to see Raekwon. I got to see Jay-Z as a grown man. I got to see Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre. Ice Cube as grown men. Nas as grown men. But the youth, I'm really, really worried about the youth because they're not getting to see their kings and queens at an older age. These kids are dying every single month. Young Dolph, PNB Rock, Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke ain't even get to enjoy one day of his music. Now Takeoff, 28 years old. And so I could not sleep. And we as a community, we have to move on to a new level of thinking. We have to elevate. We can't sit here and say the white man keeping us down. We can't sit here and say this and this. We got to fight through that and be the great kings and queens that we are. And so all those mentalities, this needs to be a new era of self-love. A new era of community. And so before our time, when we watch civil rights movements and we watch movies, many people together, they march together. We have more power and more financial resources now than ever to uplift our communities and to think towards a better future. Not looking in the past, not blaming nobody, but just looking at ourselves as a community. And love each other, bro, because we really do. And so there's a fact, and this has nothing to do with takeoff, but it has everything to do with takeoff. But I'm talking indirectly. There's a fact that from 2 in the morning to 4 in the morning is the most dangerous time in the streets. Why is that? People having a good time, they coming out the club, they drunk, they twisted. We know that when we're high, we're not thinking the same way we think as if we would think sober. This is a fact. I know I got best friends that smoke weed all day and they say, yo, I'm even better on weed. That's cool. But we know coming out the club, you drinking, you know, you got to chase the girl, so you got to go to the strip club, you got to go to the club. I'm not blaming this on the young ladies, because the ladies are our most powerful resource. People think Fat Joe has an army of cock diesel guy, TS. I'm really protected by our sisters and the women. And so 2 to 4 in the morning, you're coming out the club. One thing I learned is once I come out the club, I leave the club. I don't hang out in the front of it no more. Years ago, I used to hang out, talk shit. You know, if I have to leave an event, I leave. I'm not hanging out in front, right? And somehow we go there, and that's where it turns bad. And in the Bronx, we used to go to this shit called the afties, the after hour, where you triple drunk and high, and all the tough guys are there. Something bound to go wrong. And so we have to learn. This is something I learned as an older person. Ro Parrish, what's up, my brother? Is we got to keep ourselves away from these dangerous places. If you in there, it's like this, you don't feel good, it ain't right. A lot of times you got to go with your gut, whether it's right or wrong. If you don't feel right, if you're with your man, but your man's with some guys that you're not feeling like, you got to get up out of there. Take your gut. Sometimes you're right, sometimes it's wrong. You got to stick to your gut. I am addicted.